Good morning. This webinar offers closed captioning. To enable closed captioning, click on the live transcript button on the bottom of your screen and choose your preferred method. Welcome to the City of Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection webinar. We have adapted our regular business education workshops at City Hall into these webinars until further notice. Please note, any website or email that I mentioned will be posted in the chat box. For those seeking business license assistance, we strongly encourage the process of license and permits online. Business license can be applied for or renewed online at chicagobusinessdirect.org, or you can call 312-74-GO-BIZ. If you are a part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you get credit for joining this webinar by sending an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. To learn more about this program, please visit chicago.gov/business education. This webinar is being recorded and will be available at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. We encourage attendees to ask questions. Please use the chat box to send your questions. There will be a Q&A session at the end of this presentation. Today's webinar is entitled How to Apply for a Sidewalk Cafe Permit. At this time, I will now turn this webinar over to Jamie for us to begin.
Good morning. Welcome to the Department of Business Affairs, Consumer Protection Sidewalk Cafe webinar. My name is Jamie Viramontes. I am a business consultant here at the Small Business Center at City Hall, currently overseeing the Public Way Use Unit. As today's webinar states, we will be talking about the Sidewalk Cafes, what it is, how to apply, and what that permit process looks like. So today's agenda, first thing, we're going to look at the Sidewalk Cafe, what it is, how to apply, and the permit responsibilities. We'll then go through the permit process since it has changed. There's no longer paper applications. All applications are now being reviewed online. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A for any questions regarding a Sidewalk Cafe. So what is a Sidewalk Cafe? Sidewalk Cafe is a portion of an immobile retail food establishment or an indoor retail market located on the public right-of-way, whether directly adjacent to or in a close proximity to the retail food establishment or an indoor retail market. For those who are just questioning what's an indoor retail market, those are some of your larger food halls that have multiple retail food establishments inside. If you are participating in one of those food halls, you yourself will not apply for the Sidewalk Cafe. The actual entity who is in charge of the food hall will be the applicant applying for a Sidewalk Cafe. So what is a Sidewalk Cafe permit? A Sidewalk Cafe may not be operated without a Sidewalk Cafe permit, of course. Only businesses with a valid retail food establishment license may apply for a Sidewalk Cafe permit to serve food outside the restaurant on city sidewalks. Applicants intending to serve liquor at a Sidewalk Cafe must have a valid liquor license pursuant to Chapter 460 of the Municipal Code of the City of Chicago. BYOB is not permitted on the public way. If you are operating a Sidewalk Cafe without the proper permit, that may result in a removal order and fines between $200 and $500 per violation. So a little bit about the Sidewalk Cafe permits. The permits have an 11-month term and must be applied for and issued every year. Sidewalk Cafe season begins on March 1st and ends on February 28th. So when you're nearing that February 28th, that's where you need to renew or apply for that new season of the Sidewalk Cafe to begin on March 1st. There is the annual non-refundable Sidewalk Cafe permit fee, which varies depending on the size and the location of the Sidewalk Cafe. However, the minimum Sidewalk Cafe permit fee is $600. Currently, since the Shy Biz Initiative reform has rolled out last year, there was a 75% discount for Sidewalk Cafe permits that has also been extended for this year's term of the Sidewalk season, Cafe season. So again, there is a 75% discount for this year's Sidewalk Cafe season. So what does the application checklist look like? So what you need to include in your application, which you would upload on the online application, is your business license certificate showing that you have a license for a retail food establishment. We need photographs of the area where you guys would want to have that Sidewalk Cafe. So the surrounding area, the landscaping, things like that in front of the business. We want to see that surrounding area, what it looks like, where you guys propose to have this Sidewalk Cafe. We would need to see plans, the site plan of the cafe as well. You would also need to include the insurance requirements. I can't stress this enough, everyone. Know your responsibilities. Make sure to read the following sections to find out your responsibilities as a Sidewalk Cafe permit holder. We have the Municipal Code of Chicago, which explains all sidewalk cafes, rules and regulations. We have a separate document with the accessibility requirements for sidewalk cafes, which should also be found in the municipal code. We also have the rules and regulations for the sidewalk cafes. These two documents have been separated from the municipal code, but you can find it in the municipal code as well. Again, I can't stress this enough. Make sure you guys are reading through this. Make sure you guys read through the rules and regulations for sidewalk cafes. This would just help the process, the timing of your process. If you're able to read all of this and submit plans that have effectively that you are following the rules and regulations, this could speed up the processing time, definitely. If there's things that we have to come back and forth, of course, that may delay the processing time of your application. So just make sure to read all accessibility requirements and the rules and regulations for those sidewalk cafes. So the public way use permit process, as stated, there's no more hard copy applications. Everything would be applied through online. So to begin the application process, you would visit ipi.cityofchicago.org/profile. That will take you to the online permitting system. You would have to create an account, and then you'll be able to begin the application process to apply for the GOP, which is also the Sidewalk Cafe. So this new web portal improves the efficiency and effectiveness of the public way use permitting by allowing applicants and existing permittees to apply for new permits, renew existing permits, and pay fees, annual and outstanding debt online. So again, all public way use items that you may have with your business, you can handle all of that stuff regarding renewing permits, applying for new permits, all through this permitting portal. So again, that web address is ipi.cityofchicago.org//profile. Create an account and begin that application process. Next step would be to complete the application. So you should expect to provide the following. Some application requirements may vary depending on the type of public way use permit you are applying for. Specifically for the Sidewalk Cafe, which we are speaking about today, we're going to need the applicant information, the public way use information. This is including the location of the public way use. So that means the address of the Sidewalk Cafe specifically. Again, photographs of the business outside, the landscaping, where you guys believe that you want the Sidewalk Cafe, where it's proposed. Again, we will need a site plan, fully labeled with all dimensions, length, width of the Sidewalk Cafe, any surrounding light poles, landscaping, fire hydrants. Make sure you label that on your site plan when you submit that stuff. Bike racks, any of those things. Also, you'll need the general liability insurance with the proper liability limits, amounts, and noting that city is additionally insured. Of course, again, you can find that in the municipal code. It lays out the exact property liability limit amounts. Step 3, submitting your application. You're going to submit the complete public way application to BACP for intake review. Once the application is submitted, it is referred to the appropriate inspecting departments for approval. Once all inspecting departments have entered an approval, there will be a fee payment for you guys to pay. Once paid for, you would be able to print the permit directly from the online permitting system in that application that you had just submitted. So once you pay for that fee, you will be able to print the permit from your home on that permitting portal. So just a couple things I want everybody to know is that renewing your permit, this is specifically for all public way use items that have a 5 years permit term. This is not for a Sidewalk Cafe. Again, Sidewalk Cafe's is 11th month term, and the season begins on March 1st and ends on February 28th. So again, for all other permits, for example, a sign, you will be billed each year. A general liability insurance must be resubmitted and remain current each year, or the permit will automatically void. At the end of that 5-year term, the application process will need to be repeated. So again, for your sign, let's say you have a sign up in your building. After each year, you will be billed and you will need to update the general liability insurance. Again, this is all done through the online permitting system in that application itself. You'll be able to upload the general liability insurance and pay for that annual billing. At the end of the 5 years, you will renew the application in its entirely for another 5 years. Make sure any city debt is resolved prior to either submitting or completing that, because any city debt must be resolved prior to the issuance or renewal of the public way use permit. We will not be able to issue any permits if there is any city debts that are outstanding. Again, just want to remind everybody, operating without a permit, using the public way without the proper permits may result in a removal order and fines between $25 and $500 per violation, depending on the type of public way use occupation. Couple Sidewalk Cafes special considerations. Again, remember the Sidewalk Cafe permits have an 11th month term and must be applied for and issued every year. The Sidewalk Cafe season begins on March 1st and ends on February 28th. And there is an annual non-refundable Sidewalk Cafe permit fee, which varies depending on the size and the location of the Sidewalk Cafe. However, the minimum Sidewalk Cafe permit is $600. I just want to remind everybody, for this season, we have extended the 75% discount on all Sidewalk Cafe permits for this season, March 1st, 2022 until February 28th of 2023. So there is a current 75% discount for Sidewalk Cafes for this season. Again, just a couple common questions that we received regarding public way use permits. How long is a public way use permit good for? Again, most permits are good for a 5-year term, and they are billed annually. Again, the only permit that is not for a 5-year term is the Sidewalk Cafe. The Sidewalk Cafe permit is an annual permit with a term from March 1st to February 28th. How do you know when you need a public way use permit? Think of it this way: anything that encroaches outside your property line, over or below grade, is required to apply for a public way use permit. Can you transfer a public way use permit to a new owner or business at that location? The public way use permit is technically non-transferable, but as a business-friendly piece to our public way use process, there are some situations that permits can be transferred that are unchanged and do not intend to be changed, or permanently unmovable / unchanged structures. Some examples would be a vault, light fixtures, canopy, awning without lettering or a business logo. Another situation may be with, for example, if I have a business that has a sign that says Jamie's Tacos, and there is a new owner that wants to buy my business, and he's not going to change the name that says on the sign Jamie's Tacos, we will be able to transfer that sort of permit into the new owner's name. At some point of the application, they will be asking you for a business account number. So what do you do if you don't have a business license with the city of Chicago and you do not have an account number, since you're regulated through state license or you own the property? So to create an account with the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, you just need to fill out our business information sheet and submit it as a part of your application. This sheet is available to you when applying. and it gets to the point of uploading documentation. You will be able to have a hyperlink for that business information sheet for you to fill out and submit. We also have on the document portion of the application example site plans for the Sidewalk Cafe and what that looks like. Insurance requirements as well. So you can find all that information through the document page of the application process, and as well in the beginning of the process. As soon as you create your account and you begin the application process trying to apply, you will see hyperlinks. It will say if you're applying for a Sidewalk Cafe, read the municipal code. It will be highlighted in blue. As long as you click on it, it'll pop up in another screen. You will be able to read the municipal code, any rules and regulations, as well as the insurance requirements. So at this time, I'm going to leave it up for a couple of questions that you may have regarding the Sidewalk Cafes. I just want to put the information here of how to contact us. Of course, we are open currently at City Hall, room 800. You would come in, speak to our triage desk, and just ask to speak to someone in the public way use unit. You can also reach out to us 312-744-GO-BIZ, and also visit cityofchicago.org/BACP. If you click under public way use, you'll be able to find all the Sidewalk Cafe information, any kind of documents that would help you. For example, the municipal code, the rules and regulations, and site plans like that. So I will leave it up for questions at this moment.
Jamie, I don't see any questions. Do you see anything in the chat box or the Q&A? Because it's empty.
I do not.
Let's give them some time to come up with their questions. Let's see what happens.
Again, I just want to let everybody know all this information, this municipal code, the rules and regulations, it's going to take some time. You do have to sit down and read through this, but it will benefit you in the long run. You'll be able to submit these applications and the site plans how they're supposed to be, and it'll just help us process these a lot faster and quicker. So I can't stress enough to make sure you guys are reading these rules and regulations in the municipal code. I think I do see one question regarding the discount, if there's a discussion of extending that discount permanently. At this moment, we are just for this year, for this term. I'm sure this will be discussed again. But as far as the inability to remove the patio furniture, all this patio furniture should be removable. Nothing should be bolted to the ground, to the cement at all. So at any point, if the CPD or CFD need to do work around your Sidewalk Cafe, you should be able to remove it fairly easy. So there shouldn't be patio furniture out there that is not removable. Is the website to renew the public way use permit new? Yes, it is new. So this, I believe, rolled out in last year of April. So any permits that you have currently with the city of Chicago, yes, you will need to go to this online permitting portal. You will need to claim those permits to either renew or pay any outstanding debt, or to upload the certificate of insurance as well. Someone's asking if you give some clarity on the ground. on the ground? Can it be set up at concrete, grass, pavers, etc.? So if the parkway is grass, you cannot set that up on the parkway with grass. Concrete is definitely fine. I should remind those if it is during the colder season and the Sidewalk Cafe is not in use, you do have the responsibility to store that elsewhere. It cannot just be left outside without being used. It cannot be used for storage as well for either snow or these chairs and tables itself. So during those times that you are not using it during those the colder weather seasons, you cannot leave it out if it's not in use. If it's out there, it needs to be in use. I should remind everybody, the Sidewalk Cafe season begins March 1st, ends February 28th, each and every year. Someone asked, can you set up a Sidewalk Cafe in front of another business next to ours, as they have large planners in front of a business? Every application will be reviewed by a case-by-case basis. You will need to get permission from that storefront next to you to be able to use their space in front, definitely. Someone asked, does food trucks need to apply for Sidewalk Cafe permit since they deliver goods on people's doorsteps most frequently? No, again, a Sidewalk Cafe is for seating outside of a retail food establishment. So these are retail food establishments, brick and mortars. Now, those with just a tavern license, you are able to apply for a Sidewalk Cafe, but those will go through cultural affairs and special events. If you go to their specific webpage, you will be able to find more information. It is called the Extended Outdoor Dining. Someone asked, how is the fee determined? The fee is determined on the length and width, and at times the area of where the Sidewalk Cafe is located. So So I think that's all we have. Again, everybody, remember to just stay connected. We have YouTube Chicago BACP, where this webinar will be posted for future references. Go to our Facebook, go to the chicago.gov/BACP. You can find all this information for the Sidewalk Cafe under the public way use section.
Thank you, Jamie, for today's presentation. Again, you can find this webinar will be posted on youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Again, you can view this webinar on youtube.com/Chicago BACP. For our upcoming webinars, please visit chicago.gov/business education. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.